Welcome to the Nothing Much Just Chillin' Show with your hosts Emma and Julio. Nothing much, just chillin' show. Nothing much, just a chillin'.
Welcome back to NMJC, or welcome if you're new here. I'm Emma, and this is my podcast called Nothing Much Just Chillin', where we chill. And today, I'm chilling with my favorite person in the world.
No way.
Yeah, I'm.
I'll take that.
Well, I appreciate you being on NMJC. It's quite a pleasure.
Have we clarified who I am yet for audio only?
Oh my God, do we have to? Julio, aka the best person to ever exist, aka the most beautiful person to ever exist, aka my boyfriend.
Yeah.
That's who he is, and that's his story.
That's who I am, and that's my entire story, and I'm sticking to it. Happy to be here.
Yep. Okay, guys, welcome to our recap episode of our Europe trip. We are excited to share some memories, to share some spots we'd recommend, and share some memes from a very amazing trip. Spoiler alert. We had a blast.
Yeah, that is there's not like too many, if any, like bad turns, you know?
Yeah.
So if you're looking for drama, if you're looking for a thriller, if you're looking to be on the edge of your seat.
Well, we have a story like that, but it comes in at the very end.
Oh, so maybe we just did. Is
Keep
that you getting on the edge of your seat right now?
I don't
can't
know.
tell.
I'm on the edge of mine. Let me tell you,
True.
Julio.
I got my posture's alright. I gotta.
So Julio got his U.S. passport this past year, and we needed to christen his passport with a stamp.
Yes.
There's a lot of places that we want to travel to in the world, in Europe.
Initially, we wanted to go. My first draft of the plan, in my head at least, was that we would do one of those like 2 nights per city, 2 weeks, 7 cities, 5 countries, da.
Yeah, and what Julio doesn't know or didn't know, but knows now, is that I don't like to travel like that.
Well, yeah, that's definitely one. And then 2, I think your resistance to it did bring up a good point that like you don't get to spend a lot of time in each city if you're doing that, and you also spend a lot of your overall trip just traveling.
Yes.
Which is like
the worst
objectively the worst part of traveling, right? Like the actual transit of it all.
Yeah.
So yeah, then also just like you got to buy tickets over and over. It's just like it became more of a headache. So it's like let's limit it to a couple places that we could like really maximize our trip. And I feel like that's how we got to these 2 cities.
In the place I'm traveling, I think.
Yeah.
I think that
you wanted a real life experience.
Yeah,
I agree with.
Ever since I studied abroad, when I studied abroad, when I studied abroad, I'm so sorry, I'm going to be using that a lot today. When I studied abroad in Copenhagen, I stayed with a host mom, and that experience in itself just really always inspires me to really engage with my environment, engage with the surroundings of wherever I travel. So
that's a great policy, I think.
Yeah, so I didn't want to do the like break it up into 2-3 days in each city. Like I just wanted to really experience 1 or 2 places.
Totally.
And the top place that I wanted to go was Paris, because my cousins live there, and I am so, oh my God, beyond grateful and lucky to have my cousins live there and to have us be able to visit them and them show us around and be our tour guides and help us out. And yeah, it's such a better experience than just traveling somewhere where you know no one, even though that can be so much fun. And we did that when we went to Amsterdam. But going somewhere where you already know some people there to help guide you and spend time with and meet their friends. I mean, I just love my cousins so much, and I will say this right now because I'll say their names a lot in this episode, but my cousins, their names are Julia and Sophie, and we're all around the same age, and Olivia too, my older sister. We're all around the same age, and their older brother too, Damian, but we're all around the same age, and it just makes the bond that much stronger to have cousins who are around your age and like kind of just get you, and you can bond over so many things. The major one being that you're from this family with a particular set of values and traditions and culture. So yeah, that was really, I'll just start the recap here. Really, that was the best part of the trip. The best part of the trip was being able to spend time with my cousins who are, oh my God, they're so kind and nice to Julio too. And their boyfriends are great as well. Julia's boyfriend, Adrian, we call him Addie, and Marcouf, Sophie's boyfriend. They're just the best. And it was just so special to spend that time with them. And I'm really, really grateful for it.
Yes, it was great to spend that time and very grateful for them.
Now we're going to run through some key things that we did in Paris. And we'll probably pronounce a lot of things wrong. So sorry to Sophie and Julia who are listening to this.
I'm giving it my sort of best shot.
Yeah. Okay, the first night that we were in Paris, we went to this bar near where my cousin Sophie lives, and a French Argentinian guitarist and singer was performing.
What are the
odds? Crazy. Julio's
We're all
Argentinian.
over the place, Yeah. No, they gotta know that. If they knew who I was without a name introduction, they gotta know that.
Okay, yes. But it was cool.
What are the odds?
What are the odds? The first night we're in Paris, a French Argentinian show. It was crazy. It was so much fun though. It was a really good night, even though I was very tired from being jet lagged. I was like falling asleep. It was almost an 11-hour flight to Paris from LAX.
I read a lot.
Yeah, I worked a lot actually, but we got there all safe and sound. We checked into our Airbnb,
safe and sound,
which had a balcony that had a view of the Eiffel Tower from far away, but still cute little Eiffel Tower view.
Totally.
And then we went to find food. We got a vegan croissant at a bakery nearby, and then we went to this Turkish place, got some Mediterranean food in a meze plate, and it was yummy. It was really good.
Yeah, I loved that first evening walk because from it was my first time walking through a foreign city.
Yes.
So it's just like I feel like everything was exciting.
Yeah, right.
View-wise,
Right,
like
same.
all the we were walking
they
through.
They were just like convenience stores and like grocery stores, but everything was beautiful.
Yeah. So I feel like that was definitely it was like starting to settle in a bit more, like that we were on the trip and stuff.
Yeah. I had never been to this part of Paris, I don't think. So yeah, the 20th arrondissement is where we stayed. That's where my cousins live. So we wanted to be walking distance to their places, and it was a perfect place to stay. And there are also like a lot of vegan options in that area as well, which I was very thankful for. And one thing that really worked out well is that my cousins are very eco-conscious. They're not vegan, but they're very aware of the environmental concerns of animal agriculture. So they are trying to not be vegan, but like eat more vegan, eat more plant-based. And so they didn't mind going to all the vegan spots with us because they wanted to know if they were good or some they had been to before. But yeah, it was nice that they were so willing to go to like all vegan places with us. I was very happy about that.
Yeah, definitely. Made things easier.
Yeah. We went by ourselves to this place called Les Bowls d'Antoine. Antoine's Bowls. Sophie was trying to describe it to me. I guess she didn't know that I knew what Les Bowls were, but she was like, it's Antoine's Bowls. And I was just cracking up because with her accent, it just sounded like she said Antoine's balls. So that's what we called it from then on, and that was one of the many faux pas from that week.
Yeah.
We went there, and then it's right across from a Park de Belleville, which has a really nice view of the city. And so Julio and I, after lunch, we walked around there, saw the cats, saw cat homes,
Little wild French kittens.
And then we went to another park nearby. That's a bigger park called Parc des Buttes-Chaumont. Parc des Buttes-Chaumont. I think
you got that one.
Yeah, and
Nailed
we stopped.
it. 10 out of 10.
Thank you.
Don't look back.
And I'm like saying everything twice because I'm like, I'm not sure.
One and done.
Yeah.
You know, gloss over it.
We went to a cafe there. I don't know the name of the cafe. You do, I think.
I think it was the Pavillon au Lac.
Oh.
Du Lac.
Oh, so you repeated.
No, but I can't. I think I got it wrong the first time.
And then that night we went to a French restaurant for dinner called Cesano.
Naturally.
And right, I wasn't planning to go. I'm grateful that there was a French restaurant that had vegan options, but I wasn't like banking on that. But that was really cool that we went to that restaurant, and yeah, we went there with Sophie and Marcouf, and then after we biked. Now that was probably the most like adrenaline inducing thing that we did.
You think so?
What else did we do? That was
Adrenaline inducing.
Vegan flying tiger.
I feel like no. I feel like getting a tattoo gives me adrenaline.
Okay, yeah, I didn't get that.
And I did. I guess we're jumping around a little bit, but I did get a tattoo.
Yes, Julio got a tattoo in Paris.
I follow a Parisian tattoo artist who specializes in the American traditional style, which I am building a sleeve of on my left arm. So I was like, I had my eye on him for a while. And as soon as we booked a trip to Paris, I was like, let's get a tattoo.
Yeah, but Julio had no idea what he was going to do until like the day before,
like
I think. Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, like within the week before. But I had like 3 months.
Yeah, but he got a Sacred Heart.
Yeah, maybe you can just put a picture.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, maybe I'll insert a picture here.
Here. Is
Perfect.
that cool? Mm-hmm. Okay. But yeah, I loved it. But I think that gives me adrenaline. The shows that we went to.
The shows actually. Not the Nutcracker that
you were sleeping a little bit.
Yeah, I was sleeping. Okay, we'll get to that. But we biked to this place called Be Jazzy, where Sophie's high school friend is a manager there, and one of his friends was performing in the basement, and it was kind of like a little grunge little basement concert. Yeah. I don't know, it seemed so,
like if you know
so
kind
like
of vibes,
for the teens, you know?
Yeah,
like it seemed like we were like all teenagers.
We're very cool.
Yeah.
It's trop cool.
Trop cool.
As that was some slang that we picked up while we were in Paris, we're gonna become those awful people now who are like, when we were in Paris,
Europe.
Yeah, we're like start developing accents for no reason.
These when we were
months
in Europe, we
after.
used to have so many of those when we were in Europe. Yeah.
Yeah. The way they did it in Amsterdam, I forgot how to do it here in the States. Though we take our coffee at 2:00 or something. It's just how we do it over in Europe. But
yeah. You meant real coffee shop?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like an Amsterdam coffee shop.
You said coffee shop. I went back to Amsterdam in my head. No, we won't be those people. It's just this is the Europe. This is the Europe recap episode, so we do have to. We got to get off a couple. When we were in Paris.
Yeah. After this though, we're stopping. We're stopping cold turkey.
Hard stop on the when we were in
pretentious
Europe. Yeah.
When we were in Europe talk. Yeah.
America.
Oh my God.
No,
that's not what we need.
Anyway, cut that out. Actually, okay, where were we? Sorry.
Okay. The cool show. Wait, do you have the name? Do you have the name of the musician that we saw? Because didn't you follow him on Instagram?
Which musician?
The guy, the Be Jazzy.
Oh, Ergo.
What? Ergoat.
The face you just made.
I'm sorry, guys. We're recording this at 9:22 p.m.
It is his name. I don't want him to think we're laughing at it.
Oh, no. Okay, I'll
Ergoat.
insert it here. Go check him out because he's really cool.
Goat. Yeah, it's kind of like lo-fi hip hop vibes.
Yeah.
Instrumentals.
Yeah.
It's very, very like LA, very California, West Coast kind of like vibes musically. And he had some French rappers come up. The manager of the restaurant, who was
Sophie's friend,
came down. Max.
Yeah,
he came down and did a couple bars. He's like a local rapper. He's done festivals and stuff in the area.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was good.
It was cool.
We couldn't understand anything that he was saying, but he was really good. And
but
I have the clip on my phone.
Like,
yeah, he's spit. I've been showing everybody here. I'm like, look how fucking cool this is.
Yeah,
but
it's like whatever he's saying, I agree.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right. The next day, we met up with Sophie, Julia, and Addie for lunch at this place called Canteen de Lotus, which is a all vegetarian restaurant. I had a delicious vegan pad thai. Still thinking about that pad thai. The first couple of days that we were there, my appetite was so off that I was like mad that I couldn't finish all of it. But it was good.
Yeah.
Highly recommend that place.
I think I got the mapo tofu.
Yes.
And it was very good, very spicy.
Mm-hmm.
Julia said you're supposed to be like crying when you have mapo tofu.
Oh.
Like that's how traditionally.
Oh.
Like it's supposed to be super spicy.
Right.
And it was.
Yeah.
I wasn't crying, I don't think.
Yeah.
But I was definitely getting my sweat on. You know?
Yeah, we're getting fuel. We were getting fueled up for the pro-Palestine protest.
Yes.
Which is just crazy that it's still going on.
Yeah,
Not
I mean,
the
that was
protests.
like 3
Protests
weeks.
are still going on, but like that.
That was like a month ago now too.
Yeah, it's actually insane, and
it's still going on while we're making this episode, unfortunately. But yeah, we had talked about looking out for things that we could do to stay in touch with what's going on in the world while we were abroad. And yeah, we heard, I think Julia or Sophie
say that they were gonna go.
Yeah.
So
we were like, of course,
they invited
we'd love
us.
to go.
Oh, it was heavy, but it was good to have that sense of community and solidarity and be with like-minded people fighting for the same cause and supporting the same cause. So
marches are great. People have opinions about whether or not whatever about marches and stuff, but I think ultimately they serve a great purpose.
Sophie was translating for me the entire time. Julia was probably translating for you, right? You were walking next
Julia
to her,
and Addie were giving me kind of like lesson, like because we were walking through city streets as you do, and like we would pass a McDonald's and everyone would be like boo, and like, and then we passed a certain like supermarket that I didn't recognize, Carrefour, and everyone started booing, and I was like,
what's going on?
Who are we booing? Like I don't see anywhere. And she was like, oh, this is supermarket that has like big Israeli ties, and they haven't done anything. Anyway, it was a great experience. I'm glad we did it.
Mm-hmm. It was raining, so we were all very cold afterwards, and we went to Addie and Julia's apartment, and Addie made the best hot chocolate in the world. Oh, it was like sipping chocolate, just sipping melted chocolate. That's what it was.
Emma's a connoisseur.
And that's how I like my hot chocolate. Yeah, it was too strong for everybody else, too rich for everybody else, but I loved it.
Yeah, it was.
I could have.
And Emma had been craving it.
I'd been telling Julio that I want
a hot chocolate. And then Addie, unprovoked, was just like, oh, like I can make some hot chocolate when we go back to our place. And I looked at Emma and she was just like, oh my God.
I love chocolate. Oh, I also met Lumi actually that day. We met Lumi for the first time. My niece, my little cat niece.
Royal cat.
The prettiest cat. I'll insert picture here. Insanely pretty cat. That night we went to Thumpasaurus at the Nouveau Casino, which
amazing
is a really cool venue that was walking distance from our Airbnb. So it was so convenient, and Thumpasaurus was fucking insane. I sent the link to my cousins before we went and was like, hey, look, we're going to this concert this night if you want to join us. But it was definitely like too like
they're kind of
obscure.
Is
that what you're
they're obscure. They're very left of center, shall we say.
Okay.
When it comes to style,
they're pretty crazy.
Thumpasaurus, if you're down to explore, with an open mind and an open heart, check them out. I would suggest looking at live videos of them, though, if you can. That's how I became a fan of theirs on TikTok. Yeah, no, we could talk about that show for a long time. It was so cool. The crowd was super into it. I was jumping around the whole time. Emma was laughing.
I was laughing the entire time. Yeah, it was funny.
There was costumes. There was crazy visuals. There's crazy solos. The musicians are all great. 10 out of 10. And they're playing in LA, and they're doing a US tour, so... Little plug for Thumpasaurus. I get nothing out of this, guys. I promise. They're just a great band, and I think everyone should go see them. So,
I agree. The next day, we went to Antoine's Balls again. Les Balls d'Antoine.
Shout out Antoine's Balls.
We met everybody there. Everybody being the 6 of us: me, Julio, Addie, Julia, Marcouf, and Sophie. And
squad.
And then after me, Julio, Sophie, and Julia went to do a little shopping, a little Christmas shopping. That was fun. We shopped along
we walked so much that day. That was
canal.
Crazy.
Yeah, Canal Saint Martin.
We walked so much every day.
Yeah, we walked a lot, and then we got Ethiopian food.
Yeah, I loved it. The
style of food is great for Julio because he loves eating with his hands.
Ooh, yeah, I love that.
Yeah. And after we ate, we went to meet up with Addie and their friend Remy at a bar in the area, and Julio, that's not where you tried the hot wine.
They had an advertisement for hot wine, Van Chaud, and unfortunately they were out because they make it earlier in the day.
Yeah.
And they were out of it. But we just sat in the corner there and
chilled,
we just talked.
It was a great time.
It was so great.
Loved it.
We did that a lot. I think just like talked in bars with Sophie and Julia and all their friends, and it was great.
Yeah, it was just like
chilling. We're just chilling in Paris.
So
you know what I mean?
Yeah, chilling with the locals, talking about the world. Yeah.
You're shooting the shit, cultural exchange program type beat.
Yeah.
No,
that's
but
how
actually,
it felt.
yeah.
That's how it felt.
Yeah, no, we were talking
we were
about
studying abroad. That's literally how it felt.
Yeah, no, it was cool.
Okay.
Time.
The next day, we went to Atelier des Lumières.
Oh, beautiful.
Thank you. Not even going to repeat that one because
Don't
I feel
even do
quite confident.
That was great.
Thanks. But I did.
Thought I was back in Paris.
We didn't really like it that much.
Nah.
Like it's not really like
skip. Honestly,
know.
if we're doing like do it and don't, like that is a solid. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, they have it in other cities of the world too. Like we went to one in DC with my cousins actually when they came to visit.
It's close to Land of Monkeys though.
It was close. So that's the main attraction. Where we went after we did the exhibit was an all vegan bakery cafe called Land and Monkeys. They're actually a chain. There's a few of them in Paris, and oh my god.
So good.
We loved everything that we had there. We loved. They had sandwiches. They had a Parisian sandwich that was like a baguette and vegan ham and cheese, fromage and jambon.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
My personal favorite was the focaccia.
The pizza?
Was the focaccia pizza.
But wait, I was going to say like the Parisian sandwich that I was just describing. Yes. That's like the sandwich that I had all the time when I visited when I was 7. My cousins, we would have like all these. Aww. We would have French bread sandwiches with like just cheese and meat, and so it was very nostalgic for me because I was kind of thinking about that before we went. I'm like, oh man, I wish we could just like have like a meat and cheese sandwich.
Yeah, like
that would be amazing. And the fact that they had them and it was so good, and they had other sandwiches too that were good, and all their pastries, like it was so amazing. And honestly, like I got like really overwhelmed by just this vegan place.
Yeah.
I
that was so cute. I was like, Emma, are you crying? I was just like eating like because when I eat I like kind of black out. It's not really good.
It's really not great.
But yeah, I was eating and then I look up and Emma's like her like eyebrows are all like, and then her like eyes are all glassy and she's like not really moving. And I was like, Emma, are you okay? Are you crying? And she just goes, just everyone's here eating vegan and I can't believe, like, it just makes me so happy. Like, that is so sweet.
I'm such a dork.
You were literally moved to tears because there was like a line out the door for this vegan place in Paris. You're just like, I can't believe everyone's eating vegan.
Yeah, it just was shocking to me.
No, I agree,
There's
though.
just there's so much to choose from. There's places like this that are non-vegan
nothing,
on
yeah.
every corner, like every street, like every block. There's so many places like this that are non-vegan. So I just, seeing people choose the vegan option in real life is just, I don't know. It was touching.
Cool.
I kind of, have lost a lot of hope for humanity in general because, people don't even care about people. So like, how am I going to get them to care about animals? And that's kind of like why I stopped talking so much about veganism and why I'm vegan in general. But yeah, it was just lovely to see.
It was cute from my point of view as well.
Okay, going from cute to spooky, we went to the cemetery that day. We went to Cimetière
Père Lachaise.
Lachaise.
Yeah.
That is where a lot of famous people are buried. Edgar Allan Poe, Jim Morrison. We went to see his grave. It was quite...
Edgar Allan Potential.
What's that?
Sorry. No one's going to get that.
Was that a reference?
You can cut it out.
No, I'm not going to cut it out. What the fuck was that?
For anyone who's interested, you have to listen to the song Potential by the Jimmy Castor Bunch.
Okay.
It's a 7.5-minute funk song. Okay. And I'm not going to tell you at what point in the song that happens, but you can take a listen and figure it out, and then it'll make sense to you.
Okay.
Put a link in the description. So it's one of my favorite songs of all time. It's actually
Have I heard it?
I've shown it to you, and I think you probably just like, I think you probably just blocked it out of your memory because you're just like, if I remember this, I'm gonna leave him. So, but no, yeah, it's a classic.
Okay. All right, guys, check it out.
Sorry for that detour, but yeah,
no, it's fine.
Jim Morrison of The Doors.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad someone told me before I went. They were like, heads up, it's like really
underwhelming.
Like, if you love The Doors and you love Jim Morrison, that is great. Don't expect like a big shrine or like a big moment. Like, it's not going to be anything magical. And they were so right. And the whole walk to it was like kind of spooky because it's like there's definitely dead people like all around us.
Right.
And just like, or like the trees that are growing are like
but it
fertilized
felt cool.
by like dead people.
It felt like, I don't know.
It was
all those
very
people
cool.
that were buried there were like cool. Like they were chill with us, like walking through. That's how it felt.
Yeah.
Until the sun was about to go away, and then I was like, we need to get the fuck out of here. Oh yeah, there's so many crows. Okay. After that, we went to Julia and Addie's apartment.
We did.
And they cooked us dinner, and we all just hung out in the kitchen while they were cooking us dinner, and in the living room, and with Lumi the cat. And it was just, we all went to the grocery store together too. Just like doing like normal things with them. It was just like so nice. It's just so nice. We were just like doing what we would do here, like with them there. You know what I mean? Like our version of that. Like we're very chill.
We don't
people,
have very
so we weren't gonna like go out every night, on vacation. But yeah, it was kind of like the perfect.
And I feel like some people hear that and be like, wouldn't you regret not like doing more like crazy or whatever? But it's like,
no,
I don't.
No, I could.
And maybe people don't think that, but
yeah.
I do feel like, when you travel, there's this like, or because again, this is my first time traveling. So it's like, I've only ever really thought about travel like on that scale through like, references that I've seen to it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of people make like big events out of when they travel, it's like, you got to do all this crazy stuff. You got to have these massive memories and events. And it's like,
right. The itinerary has to be stacked.
Yeah. But literally just being there was like enough.
And living.
And then
like being present.
Yeah, literally. Yeah. Just looking around.
My mom, when I asked her what her favorite part of visiting LA was for her in October, she said just seeing our apartment, just being in our apartment. And I was like, what? We definitely did cooler stuff than just hang out in our apartment, or that's cooler than our apartment. But I think I get that now because I think my favorite moments, my favorite things that we did was just hanging out in Sophia and Julia's apartment with everybody, or just hanging out at a bar with everyone, or hanging out like at the dinner table at the restaurant, and just talking. And it is really so simple happiness, you know? It's really just like
Very
being
simple
around people you love and who love you,
good company,
and who understand you, good company, and good food, honestly.
Good food.
Next day, Julio's big day.
Tattoo day, and it was also Jordan Ward day. I already talked a little bit about the tattoo, so we don't have to go into that too much.
But I just wanted to say that when you were getting your tattoo done, I went to have lunch with Sophie and her best friend Iris, who I met when I was 7 and visited my family in France, and they're still so close. They're still as close as ever, which is like so insane. Like, I don't think I have any friends from when I was 7, which is so sad.
That's
you
like
do.
all my friends.
You do, yeah. Fuck you. Honestly.
Sorry.
But I have no
not all my friends, but
yeah,
like
besides Elizabeth, I don't
yeah
really have any friends from
it's
like that long.
I don't think it's common. I think my situation is rare.
I'm bad with staying
It's difficult.
in touch
People,
with people.
you know, as you grow up, it can be difficult.
But I went to lunch with them, and then Sophie and I went to Land and Monkeys and had some dessert and some drinks while we waited for Julio to be done, and then he came to meet up with us at Land and Monkeys as well. Yeah,
it was a nice little. I think the sun came out for like 2 minutes on my walk over, which was amazing.
Yeah, it was raining that day. It rained a lot while we were there, and there wasn't any sun really at all. Yeah. But that's okay, because we are spoiled here, and we don't care.
No, everyone kept saying weather, like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I feel bad that the weather's so." It's like, no, honestly, we were prepared. We knew what we were getting into. Exactly. Like, we knew it was a winter trip.
Yeah. We brought our rain jackets. I had my umbrella. But that night we went to Jordan Ward. Actually, before Jordan Ward, we tried Hank's Vegan Burger, which is a vegan burger joint in Paris, and that was
vegan burger joint.
Yeah, that was really good. It was.
Would
recommend. But Jordan Ward was phenomenal. Do you want to tell the story of how we got those tickets really fast?
Jordan Ward is an artist who is not like a secret, I don't think, by any means. He was on a bunch of year-end lists. I've recently been becoming a fan of his the last few months. And then while I was researching things to do for this trip, I saw he was doing a show in Paris on the 14th and in Amsterdam. Paris on the 12th and Amsterdam on the 14th. And I was like, wow, we're literally going to be in Paris on the 12th and in Amsterdam on the 14th. But both shows were sold out. So I got myself on a wait list because the tickets were through Dice. So whatever. Fast forward a little bit, I was telling a coworker about my trip, and I was just kind of telling them about this detail and explaining, the situation as I just explained it. And then they were like, oh, I am actually friends with Jordan Ward's manager, I think. Do you want me to like check if I can get you on a list? And I was like, wow, I didn't know what to say. Kind of. I was like, yeah, totally. Because you don't want to be like weird about like asking for things, and I wasn't like asking, honestly, because I had no idea. Like, that's such a random. He's not like a super famous artist.
So
it's
random.
Like, it was super random, and so he was like, yeah, I have no problem. Like, it shouldn't be an issue. I'll ask. And I literally at that point I was like, that's cool. He'll ask, but like I'm not expecting it. It's not gonna work. And then like 2 days later, he was like, hey, I got you on the list. So shout out to Everett.
We love you,
Who,
Everett.
like, I don't even know why I doubted him, because you met Everett, and he just seems like one of those guys. He's like. Almost like old school music biz, He's
right?
Like, yeah. Like, I could see him talking like that. He doesn't, but like,
he's great.
I feel like he's got someone like that in his head,
Yeah, no, totally. Oh no, but we are so thankful for him.
Shout out Everett. Thank
that
you
was
for
a great show. Jordan Ward is amazing, and yeah, that was a good night.
Get into it if you don't listen to Jordan Ward.
Mm-hmm.
Thumposaurus, Jordan Ward. Those were our 2 Paris kind of like small venue shows.
Yep.
So much fun.
All right, the next day we met everyone for brunch, a late brunch. At Aujourd'hui Demain. Yeah. Which is an all-vegan restaurant.
Market.
All vegan restaurant market. Shop thing. Yeah, it's really, really cool. Highly, highly recommend this place. We went there for brunch with everyone, and yeah, it was so good. Stayed there for so long talking, and then afterwards we did a little shopping.
I think that's when we got the red sweater.
Oh, yeah.
And I got that
I got the
tattoo book.
scrunchies for
you
me
got
and
the
Esme.
scrunchies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like
Did some shopping.
not a secondhand. It was like sort of some secondhand stuff, but it was more like curated vintage and like some art stuff.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. But it was cool. A lot of cool random stores like that we popped into and picked up random, things along the way.
And Julia's friends Zoe and Nan were there as well, so
Yeah, that
we
was
got
a
to
fun
hang out
hang.
with them, meet them, and then
Zoe's half American.
I know, yeah.
When you mentioned Gilmore Girls, she was like, "Oh my god."
Yeah.
Not like.
Yeah, didn't she say that like reminds her of her like
'Cause she's
time
from
growing up in Connecticut?
right?
Yeah. Very cute.
Yeah.
But we went to a bar that Julia really likes and just hung out there. It was a cool vibe. It was like reminded me of like a college.
Yeah, there was like
bar.
couches and like random chairs and super.
It was cozy.
The style of like the layout of the city and like where all the bars are and like because all the buildings are so old and weird layout, it's like it just leads to all these naturally kind of like interesting spaces.
Yeah.
And it is so different from what we're used to. Like probably Julia and Sophie are like, yeah, this is what a bar looks like.
Yeah.
But like, but yeah, it was cool. It was a
Yeah.
lot of fun. All the different places we went to. I don't remember a single name besides like.
I don't
Lupascaloo
remember the
and,
name
like,
of this bar, but maybe Julia will tell us. But yeah, that was a really nice night.
I
just
had my hot
talking.
wine there.
Hot wine.
And it's honestly, it's fine.
Yeah.
I had it mainly because Julia was saying it's like a thing.
Yeah.
And she wasn't even like hugely endorsing it either. She's like, some people like it, some people don't.
Yeah.
If you want it, but if you want to try it, it's a thing here.
You tried other French
Oh yeah,
drinks
the
as well.
pastis.
Yeah.
Which
Remy,
I forget what the liquor is, but yeah, it's like some kind of like liquor and water. And Remy said it's like the cheapest thing at every bar.
Yeah.
And it gets you drunk.
Yeah.
That's why he orders it on.
That's so funny. And then that night is when we got Paris, New York. The food
that's a chain, I guess.
A food chain, I think.
Do they have them here?
I have no idea.
No.
They're probably just in Paris and New York.
They have
maybe.
one vegan item though, and we got
They
it.
have the vegan Nirvana burger, and we would highly recommend. It was the best vegan burger that we had on the trip.
We also ordered in French there, kind of.
You did.
Two.
How do you say to go?
À emporter, s'il vous plaît.
Nice. Okay, the next day we went
Merci.
The next day, I can't do it. Next day, drum roll. We took the train to Amsterdam.
We took a European train.
Yep.
Isn't that so European of us? To take the train to Amsterdam.
We did it. Our first time smoking was at my favorite coffee shop there from the last time I went, called Super Skunk. It was
Super
so
Skunk.
cool. They've done some redesigning since 2015, but
Wait, do you remember that they had a live stream into that like winter village?
yes.
That was so
what was
weird.
that? That was so trippy.
They had,
Why are
like,
we
this
looking
little-
at kids skating?
Yeah, they had like a little Christmas town, and it was just like literally a live camera of just like families playing in this like fake snow and like walking through the center of it. And I was just like, we hadn't seen
Amsterdam
where.
was very Christmassy.
Yeah, we hadn't seen like where in Amsterdam that was yet, so we were just like,
Yeah.
is this a real place?
Are they
Are they
live streaming the North Pole?
are they
right
like
now?
allowed to leave? Are they held like where?
Are they actors?
Are they in the back of the store? Like, what is going on?
This was before we smoked.
It was like before and during, and like
Yeah.
as we were smoking, I was just getting more and more in my head about it. I was like, this is actually really.
It was the first time we had smoked in a week because
Yeah.
we obviously did. Weed is illegal in France.
It is.
It was the first time we had gotten high, and we were really high. And I remember we were in the front area, and I had to pee, and I start going to walk back to the bathroom. And I just see 3 20-year-old-ish boys. 2 of them are carrying the other, and the other is just like passed the fuck out. And I turn around, and I'm like, I don't have to go to the bathroom anymore. I don't want to
Yeah,
be a
Emma
part.
came back
I
real
don't
quick.
want
I
to be
was
part
like,
of this equation.
What?
Yeah, so I start walking back up to the front, and one of the boys comes running up behind me to the bud tender, and is like, my mate, he's just passed out. And the bud tender is
Solid
like, are you
accent.
fucking like, are you joking? What do you mean? He was like,
Bitch.
passed out. And then he was like, okay. And so I guess this situation was resolved because I didn't see any like ambulance or
I'm sure it was
emergency or anything. Like I'm sure he was fine. I'm sure he was just like dehydrated or something. But
Yeah.
that was a rude start to being high in a foreign country.
Yeah, it was like not even our first full night
like,
in
really?
Amsterdam.
It's like I could have freaked out, but I was like,
We recentered. Yeah.
I recentered. I was
let's
like,
get
I've
outta
been here
Let's-
before,
yeah.
and I
Let's
know
take a
what
walk
I'm
along
doing.
this
Yeah, let's take a
canal.
walk along the canal, and then
Amsterdam is cute.
we entered.
Super cute.
And then I saw like fucking like a Christian sees the cross of Jesus. I don't know, like and wants to wander into the church. You know, that's what I saw.
Is that what you think happened? We need to unpack that more at another time.
I saw I saw Flying Tiger, and I was like, I was like, oh my god, Julio has never been to Flying Tiger before. We have to go. And Flying Tiger, if you don't know, it's this really cool. I think it started in Copenhagen. They have a lot in Copenhagen. That's why I know of it. But they have one in New York as well. Anyways, it's a really cool store that just is like pumping stuff in the air to get you to want to spend
like a
money.
casino.
It's crazy, yeah. But we were so high and just having fun looking at everything in the store. And
we knocked over
definitely looking
3 things that were all super loud.
Yeah.
We knocked over a flask. That was the first thing we knocked over, and it was like bing, bing, ding, ding. And we're all just like, fuck. Like we just smoked a joint inside somewhere, so we probably reek too.
Didn't you hear somebody say marijuana?
I heard someone say something like marijuana or something like that, and I was like, damn, they're talking about it. And we're in a foreign country. I can't understand the fucking thing
but
they're
we
saying.
don't care. I got this there. I got these. I got another one.
That's the kind of shit. And you're just like, yeah, I'll spend $5 to $10
it's colorful.
on
It
this.
matches our apartment, and I need it. I just need it to
And that's the thing,
to put my
not-
hot pots on.
Not everything. Most individual items were actually not terribly priced, but it's all like it's like you end up wanting to buy like 12 things, and
Yeah.
you're gonna spend like $300.
Oh my god, yeah.
We got these
Julio
little
was
disco
getting
ball lights.
ready to buy another suitcase so that we could buy everything in the store.
Because
and
Emma was like,
take it back again.
I was like, well, what if we just get this shit online? And then we looked it up, and they didn't deliver to the U.S. I was like, we got to get at least 1 or 2 things then.
Yeah.
So that rationalized it for me.
Yeah.
You were already like.
Yeah, I was like, I got these in my hand. Like, I'm buying these right now.
You were really meditating on this purchase. You were just like.
I was, because I was like, do I like it or am I just high? But
yeah, it's good. I'm glad you got it. It's unique.
no, it's
funky.
perfect. It's so me.
And then we ended our night pretty early after that. We were just like, you know what, we're super tired. Let's get a good night's sleep in our nice, cozy hotel.
And then we accidentally slept in and slept past our reservation
we slept like 13
for the
hours that
Rijksmuseum.
night.
Yeah.
Because we went to bed at like 9 o'clock and we woke up the next day at like 11 a.m. We're like, fuck. We were supposed to be at the Rijksmuseum like 2 hours ago.
Yeah. But we went to the Rijksmuseum and it was beautiful. And it's just
huge,
highly
massive.
recommend. It's a huge museum. We didn't go to every single exhibit in there, got
It's like a wooden ship museum part of it. And we were just like, we don't need that.
Yeah, we just went to like the rotating galleries, the ones that aren't there to stay. So that was cool. Yeah, really liked that. And that day we actually went to my most highly anticipated food spot of the trip. I really, ever since I found out about it, because it opened like a year after I went there, is this place called the Vegan Junk Food Bar. And it's a chain in Amsterdam now. Like there's, I don't know, 5 or 6 of them. And I was very excited to go. And we went and it sucked. It was so bad. And I don't recommend that place.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. That was a real bummer because it seemed like it would be right up my alley too. And
then another place that we went to that was all vegan is this place called Veganese. And it was okay. Honestly, we went there for lunch and it was like pretty good, but then we went there for dinner and it was kind of awful.
the first time we went there for lunch too was like our first foray into the city. So we were super hungry and kind of just like, oh wow, everything's amazing. So I feel like that kind of like the food was fine the first time, but I feel like we were like, it was good enough. That's like, it's good. We'll come back.
Yeah.
Like the rest of the menu will probably be good. And then the rest of the menu was not good.
Yeah, it wasn't.
But it was a cool location at least,
Yeah.
and the people were friendly.
But then we went for dessert to a place called Vegan Temple Bar, where we got
Oh yeah.
vegan apple pie and vegan stroopwafel.
Stroopwafel.
I saw that they had stroopwafel on the dessert menu. I'm like, we have to go because we need vegan stroopwafel. That's
man.
like that's like the cookie
It's what you
dessert
eat
of
there,
the
yeah.
Netherlands. Yeah, that's what you eat there. And we had a vegan version of it, which was so fucking sick.
It was great.
Oh my god, Happy Cow really.
Oh my god, I just remembered when we went in that place, there was that table of like Germans, and they all like simultaneously stopped talking as soon as we entered. They were like the only people there.
The crowd by the door.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Or I don't know if they were German or Dutch or whatever, but they were like, I just remember it might have been because we were high as well, but we walked in and it was like all this chatter, and I just felt it all immediately stop, and all of their eyes went like,
You could have just been being
and then
paranoid.
I was just like, and then I think I looked at you and the guy was like, oh, anywhere you want. And I was like, let's go like as far away as possible. Because it was just like one long row of tables. And I just felt them looking at us like, don't fucking sit next to this stupid bitch.
Oh my god, that's the weed talking. I have no idea where you got that from.
I
thought it was
thought-
perfectly normal. I was like, okay, yeah, we'll
no,
sit.
I felt
Here.
their eyes like
Wow,
cut through our souls.
that's
Like,
crazy. Okay,
then
well,
they went back to
I don't know.
talking
Take
right
that
away.
with a
but-
grain of salt, because everybody in the Netherlands was really nice, and we got like
No,
really good service
yeah.
everywhere, and yeah,
Yeah.
the vibe of the people.
I
I
just
think
remembered that
overall
little
was like
detail.
really really chill. So yeah, maybe this one group was pretty threatening, but I don't remember.
Yeah.
Anyways, stroopwafel was very good. They like served it with berries and chocolate sauce
Yeah.
and whipped cream. And
I was quickly
it
distracted by
It
that.
was amazing. It was
Oh,
so
and I
good.
had an Irish coffee.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
'Cause they didn't have-
vegan Irish
they didn't have
coffee, and I think
espresso
I had
martini.
a vegan hot chocolate. It was not as good as Addie's hot chocolate. It was a very basic hot chocolate made with
Tough
like
to top,
water.
you
Yeah,
know?
tough to
Yeah.
top. But but it was pretty good. But that night actually is the night that I convinced Julio to go to the red light district because he didn't want to. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I was telling Emma, like, I think, like, when we first got to Amsterdam or, like, the first or second day, I was just like, I know it's, like, what you're supposed to do when you come here, but, like, I don't know, like, do we really need to go? Like, can we do this? We only had 3-4 days.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, would it be worth it to maybe do something else instead of that? And honestly, I also just don't think we had, like, many other, like, things that high up on our list. So it's like, we have
Right.
time.
Yeah, we had time. We weren't doing anything else besides
Yeah.
just going home to sleep. So I was like, let's make a pit stop and just
Yeah.
walk through it for a minute. And yeah,
If I had been able to like get like soccer tickets or like something else planned for us, like I probably would have been like, it's fine if we skip red light district.
right.
But yeah, since we had the time, I was like, fine, whatever, let's go. And yeah, we did it. We crossed it off the list.
Yeah, it is what it is. Honestly, like it's cool. Like I'm so in support of legal sex work.
I think that goes without saying. That's not what I
But-
was like, not trying to.
No, yeah,
Yeah.
but it's the people that go there, the people that place attracts, and all the groups of men or even families that are just staring, which is like the number one thing you shouldn't do in the red light district.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just the seediness of the tourists that are attracted to that place is
Yeah. Just like the more I thought
Concerning,
about
but,
it, I was just like, how do I act when I go there? Because I'm
Yeah.
not going to purchase. I'm not going to go to
yeah,
a
but
show.
we were just walking.
But we were, yeah, I
we were
think
walking and
from the perspective of, like-
looking like glancing, not like staring.
No,
but I
yeah.
was just like, this
it's
is
like,
what it is.
there's like that red
this is what-
glow.
yeah, yeah,
and there's
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
women in windows.
Yeah,
Because I think that's what I said to you. I was like, at the end of the day, it's like half naked women. It's not like groundbreaking.
right.
But
And you also made the point that they're like not working for it. Like they're just kind of like,
Yeah, it's like they're-
standing there.
actually, they could be working a little harder.
Yeah.
They were kind of lazy. Sorry. So where were we? We were
Yeah, sorry.
we went to
We
the
were
red light
talking
district.
about the red light district and
What did we do after the
sex
red light
work,
district?
and then we went home and went to bed, and then we woke up and went to the Anne Frank Museum.
Range, people.
Range.
It's called Range. Read about it.
But the Anne Frank Museum, I had been in 2015 when I went for my spring break, and I just had the most insane experience there, and just so, I don't know, so heavy, but so like rewarding the experience, like going through and
kind of like
just
humbling
knowing
in a lot of
humbling
ways.
experience going through and really seeing like the place where the family hid, where Anne Frank hid, and it was so emotional for me then. And so I wanted to make sure that Julio had that experience, and I wanted to go back again as well. So I bought the tickets well in advance, because you have to do that, because it's the tickets are scarce for that museum. So you really have to know like the day that the tickets come out. Yeah, that was the very first thing that we did that morning. And I mean, you can talk about your experience. Oh, I was just going to say also, a lot has changed in the museum since the last time I went. So it was kind of like a new experience in so many ways, but still like the hiding place spot like that, it felt familiar because they didn't change that obviously. But going through it with Julio was really touching and just real and telling of what is actually going on in so many parts of the world right now, and specifically in Palestine. And I think Julio and I both had on our minds the children of Palestine going through this museum, and just seeing how like eloquent and aware Anne Frank was, and how much hope she had. And it just reminds you of everything that's going on right now, because war can be such a traumatic thing to go through for a child, and no child should ever have to go through war. In my family, there have been children, including my dad, who have been through war, and it's not fair. It's not fair, and there's no like way of knowing if your family is going to be safe, and unfortunately Anne Frank's family wasn't, and she's only one of millions of Jews and children that happened to. And I'm glad we did it, and I would highly recommend that you guys visit whenever you make your way to Amsterdam.
I think we all read that growing up at some point, so it was pretty crazy to be in the actual place where it was like, pretty significant memory of like my education, but yeah, such a significant place in like world history. And shedding light on that element of war, of like children, futures lost, all that kind of stuff. And the video, I think it was all kind of like, it's something about being in there. I don't know. Yeah, it's like a pretty crazy feeling. And then there was the video of Otto Frank, the father, and he was saying how like when he found the diary, how he like realized he didn't know her like that much, and that was just crazy.
It was like he was like, it was not the Anne that I had known.
Yeah, it's just, and like being reminded of how
fully formed her thoughts were.
Yeah, and she had, she wrote so like surely about her future, and so yeah, I think,
I'm gonna be a famous author.
Yeah, I'm glad that you had the foresight to kind of make sure that was on our itinerary. It was very good stop on our trip.
Okay, so after that we took a little smoke break, and we went to a new place that is probably the place that we would recommend the most if you're going to Amsterdam, and if you're vegan. Even if you're not vegan, best croissants, vegan or non-vegan, that I've ever had in my life. Margot's. Not to be confused with the Margot's here in Santa Monica that has terrible service. But Margot's in Amsterdam, oh my God. The pastries there are just absolutely beautiful, perfectly flaky. They were so beautiful. I took film pictures of them. Like it was so good. Yeah, I was very inspired, and it was like really, really good bakery, and we had sandwiches from there too, and yeah, highly would recommend Margot's. And then we also ate at this place called Soil Vegan Cafe.
Yeah, we kind of just like ran into that one.
Yeah,
we weren't looking for it,
but would highly recommend that place too. We had lunch there, and
our waitress was Irish.
Yeah,
remember I asked her something about beer, and she was like, I'm not gonna try her accent, but she was like, oh, I would be a disappointment to my Irish father or something because I don't drink beer.
Yeah.
But
she was cute though.
yeah,
That was
and that's
good
when
service.
we saw all the Santa people on the ferries.
Right.
And
Yeah.
stuff.
Amsterdam streets were
They love
vibrant,
Christmas over there.
vibrant with characters. There was Santa going around. There was people on stilts that were dressed as fairies. Like it was quite.
I don't want to know the
It was quite
answer. I'd
beautiful.
rather like and just have this be one of those weird mysteries that go unsolved for me. But I do kind of wonder, like, are they volunteers? Are they paid by the city?
Yeah.
Is this like a corporation?
Yeah.
Is this a marketing
Or
thing?
if they like part of like a. I was thinking that they were like part of a theater group.
Theater group.
Like maybe
You're
that's
so right.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. And then for dinner that night, we went to this place called Hearth, which is a very fine dining vegan restaurant, which that's fucking crazy that we found a vegan fine dining restaurant in Amsterdam. But it was one of those restaurants that's like Noma or like that restaurant in the Menu, which like I think they based it on Noma, but one of those restaurants where they like give you like a free like palate cleanser when you walk in, you know, like a very nice place that has very eloquent, high quality cuisine. That's a French word, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was so good. And then after we had this vegan fine dining meal, we went to enjoy some fine arts at Concert Gebouw.
Yes.
This concert house in Amsterdam that's like across the field from the Rijksmuseum. And we saw the Netherlands Philharmonic Orchestra play the Nutcracker.
Yeah. It was amazing.
It was amazing. I was falling asleep. But
sat
it's just
behind the
because
orchestra.
it was so beautiful. Yeah. Everybody could see me falling asleep.
Everyone could see you falling asleep. There's good people watching.
Yeah, it was great people watching. Oh, it was so fancy. The inside was so beautiful.
Yeah, you know, it's like sometimes fine art can be a little stuffy when you like think about it too much. At least for me, I don't know. It can be like you can get real kind of like it's not like for the people kind of vibes, but like when you're there, it's easy to be like, oh, you know what, this is kind of cool. Like
we got a discount too because we're under 30 years old. Not for long.
Shout out youth.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, I do have a little soft spot in my heart for classical music.
Oh yeah,
and,
same.
And yeah, I went to a lot of that stuff with my dad growing up. So
Same.
I love. I wouldn't say. Yeah, I guess I love it. It was your idea though.
Yeah.
You were like, oh, I wonder what orchestra stuff we can do.
Yeah, because we kept on passing by the concert venue on the way to and from our hotel.
The Concert Gebouw.
And I kept on seeing like musicians come out of it and people dressed all nice and fancy. I was like, okay, we got to see if something's going on one of these nights. And sure enough, there were some seats left behind the orchestra, and it was actually so fun to sit there because we could see the orchestra and we could see the conductor.
Yeah, we saw. Yeah, I've never seen an orchestra from that perspective before.
Yeah, no, it
reminded me of being in the orchestra,
right,
in all those
right.
school years days, you know.
Yeah,
but it was cool. Yeah,
the entrance for the conductor and all the musicians and stuff was like right next to us. Yeah, so it was. Oh, it was so cool.
They did do a lot of walking in and out. That was kind of funny.
Yeah, all the clapping that we had to do. I was like, oh my god, my hands are getting red.
It would be like between movements, the conductor would just leave.
Yeah.
And then just literally come right back.
Yeah.
Like nothing changed. Like I don't even remember that being a part of.
It's so jarring when
orchestra.
you're not used to it. It's like, what is going on?
I'm like, where are you going?
Are they just trying to get their step count? Like, what are they doing?
Is it like a rock star who like leaves stage to like do cocaine?
Yeah, and
they're like going to do like hard
no, literally,
drugs
they're like going to do bumps back. Like, why else would you leave that many
like
times and come right
so
back?
rock and roll.
Yeah.
We don't even know.
Yeah, no, truly. Oh, the next day we went to Margot's again, actually. And then we ate the sandwiches in Vondel Park.
Went to Vondel Park, nice big open park.
Yeah. And then we hopped on a train back to Paris.
Hopped on a train to go to Paris. we're back in Paris.
Yeah, we're back.
And
we're back in Paris. Beautiful train ride. We're back in Paris. We check into our hotel.
This
that's
time,
near the city center.
Yeah.
We walk. We walk to a vegan restaurant, but it
was closed. False advertising. You're canceled.
Oh, but we ordered on delivery that night. We ordered Bodhi vegan and actually had really good
it was all right.
stuff. It was pretty good. But the next day we went to Musée de l'Orangerie.
Beautiful.
They kind of stopped. Musée de l'Orangerie.
Beautiful.
I don't know. Anyways.
L'Orangerie.
Which was cool. Too much Picasso. But
we're not big Picasso fans around NMJC.
Nope. Anyways.
Do with that what you will.
Yeah. But all the other exhibits there were cool. We went to Land of Monkeys.
Yeah,
another
honestly,
location.
As much as I love Land of Monkeys anywhere and all the visits we had, I do wish we could have gone back to that first location because I feel like they had more options than all the other ones we went to.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But it was still great. Yeah, we had the baguette sandwich and
some sweets.
Some flan. Which their flan, I didn't know this
French
about.
flan is different.
French flan is like a little bit more, it's like a thicker. It's almost like a cheesecake, like a mousse.
Yeah.
Like a thick tart.
It was good though.
It was very good. I had it multiple times, but it was not. I was like, when I saw it, I was like, that does look kind of different, but I'm gonna get it anyway because I really want flan.
Yeah.
But I'm still on the hunt for a good old fashioned soft.
Well, I think I got to figure out how to make it because I didn't think that I could make cheesecake, and I made that.
Look at us now.
And look at us now. Yeah, and then we did a little shopping when we went to the Galerie Lafayette. And then
famous shopping center.
And then later that night we went to see the Eiffel Tower sparkle.
Have you ever heard of this? The Eiffel Tower? Great place.
So we
cool.
saw
undiscovered gem.
So I've never seen the Eiffel Tower sparkle because when I was there when I was 7, I stayed a little bit outside of Paris where my family lived. And we were never there that late at night to see it sparkle. And then when we were in the 20th arrondissement, like we said, we had the view of the Eiffel Tower from far away. So we saw it sparkle then. But yeah, we wanted to go see it sparkle.
Sparkle.
Yeah, we wanted to go see it sparkle up close. So we did that. And then we wanted to just like have the full tourist experience. So we found an Italian place that would cook us vegan stuff. And they were hilarious.
Well, no, it was a great... We were on our way to a different Italian place.
Oh, yeah.
We found it online, and then you were like, as we were walking up to it, we saw 2 awnings, like, side by side. It was the one to the place that we were going to, and then this other one.
I'm such a girl.
Both Italian places, and Emma looks at the one that we were going to go to. It was, like, red. It was kind of dim. It was, like, a little bit farther away. She's like, should we just go to this place? Like, we're right in front of, and we were, like, looking at the menu. It was, like, nicer on the inside. And so Emma was like, let's just check. And so we went there, and there was this guy at the door who was like, oh, vegan? Like, yeah, we can, like, no cheese, I guess, right? Like, that's it. Yeah, everything else we can do. Sure, come inside. And we were like,
okay.
All right, I guess. And there was, like, no one in the restaurant, too. So it was great. That was a nice
good.
little, random
we had
thing.
focaccia bread with olive oil and balsamic, and we had a pizza with just veggies on it, and a penne pasta with marinara and eggplant, and it was
just bread in all forms.
It was so good though. My stomach didn't hurt.
No.
After they say that about gluten in Europe, it's much cleaner. But anyways, no, it was so funny too when the waiter came over when he came to give us our stuff, and he was like, you guys want cheese? And then like ran away giggling.
Away,
it was so
like the Joker or something.
Yeah, he thought he had just come up with like the best joke in the world. It was hilarious though. It
was great. Yeah,
he was so cute. And
left a great tip.
Yeah,
you don't even have to tip in France.
Yeah, that was a great night.
No, but yeah.
And then the next day we went to Jeu de Paume, which is a museum across the garden from Musée de l'Orangerie. And we went to that museum specifically because there was a woman photographer exhibit, Julia Margaret Cameron, who was a photographer in the 1800s. And it was insane. I loved it. It was so cool to see such old photographs.
Yeah.
And especially like woman art after seeing like so much man art.
Sure.
It was very refreshing.
Yeah.
And all the subjects that she captured were really cool. And yeah, that exhibit was just top notch. Like we really enjoyed that one.
Totally.
And
afterwards we went to Wild in the Moon, right?
oh yeah,
Kind of a mid.
don't recommend.
Yeah,
Do not
mid
recommend
restaurant chain.
Wild in the Moon, French vegan chain. But then after that we went to see the Arc de Triomphe.
Yeah.
Which was cool. Saw it.
It is way bigger than I thought it was gonna be.
Really?
I thought it was gonna be more similar to like Washington Square Park.
Oh my god. Wait, that's so funny. Wow. You didn't really have a reaction when we went. I didn't notice that you were like, "Oh my god."
And I didn't think it was gonna be that small either, but I was just like, it can't be that big. And then I remember someone a while ago told me that you can like go up it. And then I was like, oh, it must be a lot bigger than I think. But I kind of just like let that go and I went back to being like, it's just an arch, right? But
no, it's huge, yeah.
It's a big one.
Right.
It's very triumphant. Good job. Good job, Paris.
And then we walked down the Champs-Élysées.
Yeah.
And then we got sucked. No, we didn't suck. We walked in. We walked in.
The way that you just ended your sentence. And then we just got sucked. And then you just stopped talking. You can't end it on that word like that.
No. I saw there was a Sandro. It's a Paris brand that
I think
my
people know
family
Sandro, right?
that my family really likes. Like I'm always in a Sandro with a member of my family. I'm never in there alone.
Damn.
I'm never in there alone. And so I was like, you know what? Let's just walk in.
Your family just hangs at
I've
the
been in
Sandro.
one of these before. So I walked in and yeah, they heard we were from LA and they were like, oh my God.
Get 'em.
They must have money. So yeah, we got
Jokes on them.
No, we got some good gifts though. So yeah, it was all worth it. And then that night was our farewell dinner. We went back to Aujourd'hui Demain. Met up with everybody, including Remy and Iris was there, and then their other friend Flor, and then all six of us. Like it was very
nice, very
nice.
heartwarming close to our trip.
The friends are so great. Every friend we met of theirs was so great, and they are so great. I mean, just Julia and Sophie are the cutest, most precious things in the world, and I love them so much, and I wish we could visit them all the time.
Yeah. Shout out Julia and Sophie. Thank you guys for your hospitality.
Yes, for being the best tour guides, for being the best to hang out with and talk
Addie
to.
and
Addie and Marcouf.
All the friends, everybody who opened their hearts and their worlds to us on this monumental journey.
Julio can't be sincere without making a joke out of it.
I should work on that. But no, I actually I do sincerely appreciate
it. Was
everything.
so
very fulfilling
lovely,
trip.
Very fulfilling trip.
For
My heart is full from it.
Yeah, I think the whole trip. Earlier, you were saying the favorite part. I think for me, it was just doing it. You know, like it was such a big thing looming over us. Me personally, us together, like everything. It was just such a big thing. To be able to do and like to start that kind of phase of life in terms of like experiential kind of things. Because you know me, we go to shows, like that's what I spend my money on is like experiences. So this was, I feel like, you know, like the peak of that. So I'm just excited to keep it going.
Yeah.
And I had a great time, and thank you for being the best person to travel with.
Oh, thank you. I have had really bad experiences with traveling with a significant other or internationally in particular. So I was like a little bit worried about traveling and fighting with your significant other on vacation. Like I just thought like, oh, that's what happens. And I went through it heavily when I studied abroad. I have a lot of bad memories of yelling. And going back to Amsterdam was it was like a baby step back into traveling Europe or traveling back to the places that I went to with my ex when I was in that toxic relationship. and Amsterdam was just kind of a baby step because that was a place where we were like mostly okay, simply because we were high the entire time. But I can rewrite those memories in my head with and still keep the good ones, but I can make amazing new ones with my insanely perfect boyfriend, who is the best travel partner. I mean, I don't know why I would think anything else going into that trip, that we would be fighting or I don't know, we would just like find things to bicker about, or that we wouldn't agree on stuff. Like I just kind of had that idea in my mind of like, oh, that's what's gonna happen, or like that's what does happen, that's what's normal, and it's not, and it shouldn't be. I just really appreciate being able to go back to places I loved so much with the person that I love, and the person who loves me as much as I love them. It's really special to be able to travel with anyone you love, but specifically your soulmate. It's quite a blessing. So I appreciate that we took this trip so much, and I'm excited to go everywhere with you.
Likewise.
Yep. So there were actually no real hiccups of the trip besides our very last moments in
Couldn't quite
France.
make it out unscathed. Earlier we talked about how excited I was to get the stamps, but basically on our way out, if you've traveled internationally recently, maybe you've gone through one of these, new, I don't know how new they are, but yeah, you like go into a booth and they scan your face and then they're like, you are who you are, and then you walk through it, and then for some reason there's still another booth with a person who looks at your passport again, even though you just scanned it, whatever.
It was very early in the morning.
Very early in the
when
morning.
We were doing this.
We had like 3 hours sleep.
Yeah.
We're, sad to be leaving. All these things.
I'm looking at the people in front of me do it, like give their passport to the guy in the stall, and there's minimal words exchanged. Like they give it to them and they stamp it and then they move on. And I'm thinking like, okay, I don't have to, because I have to prepare myself for social situations. I really do. Like if I know that I have to talk, if I have to say this, like I'm rehearsing it in my head, like what I have to say. So the fact that I see these people are not saying anything, I'm like, okay, sick. I'm gonna be so swift in this process. And I have my page to the blank page in the passport where my stamp coming in to France was on, and I'm ready. I give it to the guy and shit pops off. He asked me he asked me if I live in Paris, and I was like, no, I live I'm like in the line for the non-French people. I'm like, I live in the United States.
An American passport.
Yeah. And I'm like so confused. I'm like looking at the guy next to me who's at the stall right beside me, and he's looking at me like, I'm like, I don't. What the fuck? Why'd they ask me that? And then he asked me when I got to Paris, and I like freaked out. I was like, I didn't have these answers ready. I was like, December 7th. And he just looks at me like, you're fucking lying. And I was just so confused. Mm-hmm. He starts talking to the guy next to him in the stall, and they just start talking in French. And they start just asking me all these questions, and I'm getting nervous. So I look behind me for a second at Julio and kind of like laugh nervously, and I'm noticing that there's not a lot of room between those pathways and this booth. Like there was so many people waiting, and they did not look happy, and I was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. And so I laughed for a second, like just out of nervousness, and one of the guys in the stall just yells, "Is this a joke to you?" I immediately was like, no, like I'm so sorry, like I don't know what I did wrong, like I'm not sure what's going on. And then he just proceeds to yell at me in French, like louder and louder and louder and louder in French, and I just kept on being like, I don't know French, like I can't understand you. And they just thought I was trying to like pull one over on them. Like they thought that like I was a Paris resident. And Julio comes up notices that like I'm
Yeah.
freaking out, right?
Yeah, I was like right behind you, so I saw this happening. I was like, okay, well, if she's having an issue right now, I'm gonna have an issue. So I kind of like told people, I was like, hey, do you mind, like, we're together and it seems like something's up. And
Yeah, did anybody give you crap for that? Because like
no,
they
not
should have
really,
pushed
no.
you up.
People
Yeah.
were also cutting in front of me.
Yeah.
Like, I was getting annoyed waiting because I was like, people just keep like, it was like 7 different like booths that all funnel into this one. So people were like finishing after me,
Yeah.
like from the other side, and they would just like go in front. I'm like, can we? Everyone's just fucking cutting me, and I was like, what am I supposed? Like old women are cutting me. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Like, not let them cut me? Then I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
Which I don't know, but anyway.
No,
so
you were being too nice. I like kept on. I kept on, like every time I turned around, I feel like you were farther back. I was like, what is going on?
No, but anyway, so yeah, I get up there and I can't really tell what the problem is. I was like, what's going on? And I showed them my thing, and then they kind of start looking at my thing weird too.
Well, basically, somebody behind us
saved us.
Was like, oh, do you need somebody who knows French? And I'm like, she was like, I can speak French. I was like, yes, please. So she goes up, and then they finally realize that like I can't speak French because I need this person to speak French for me. And so she is asking what happened, and basically our stamp was wrong. It said 7/1/23, so it made it look like we had been in the country in France since January 7th, 2023.
Yeah. You probably need different paperwork for that kind of stay.
Yeah, visa, So but it's crazy though, because what we just said, all that digital footprint that we just did on the way in and on the way out, like they could have easily just scanned our passport and known that we actually got in on December 7th. Like it would have taken them 2 seconds to learn that information rather than just automatically assume that we are criminals and are breaking the law and yell at us in a foreign language. It was just
I just showed them our boarding ticket though, and they were like, oh, and then I was like, look, you got to talk to your people because you guys fucked up the stamp, which is like the dumbest thing in the world. And I can't even, when I tell you guys, I had been talking about how excited I was to get a stamp for weeks. Like I was looking forward to the stamp, I think, more than the trip.
No, it's
like
a horrible memory.
If I found the stamp at like, Staples or a place that isn't closed forever anymore, like I would just go get that and just put it all over my passport and I'd be fine. I'd never have to go anywhere. But now, fuck the stamps, man. They're just going to set us up for interrogation. We're going to be getting like cavity searches one day, and it's just like, the 12 was on the 2.
Yeah. It's like you're gonna go with this stamp, this archaic system, when you have a computer right there. Like it could have been so simple.
They were clearly they were
just
mad
wanted
about
to yell at me.
They were mad about something else.
Yeah.
They
needed to like let
fulfilled.
it out. Yeah.
So you know what? I wish you well, guys, because we're better than that.
No, but we don't. Julio was so funny. He was so hot when he like went up and he was like, it's not our fault, it's your colleague's fault. He said that and I was like, whoa. I was like, I'm watching a movie right now and I forgot about like being in the situation.
This is a family and friends podcast.
So sorry. Okay, guys, but you know what? We made it. We made it to Baltimore, where we spent Christmas, and yeah, it was a great trip. And that is our recap of our Europe trip to Paris and Amsterdam. Thank you guys for listening. Thanks for joining us. Please let me know. I hope you enjoyed it, and let me know if you have any questions about anything and need any more specific recommendations for things to order at these restaurants if you're going there anytime soon. All right, bye guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for chilling. Bye. Love you.
Nothing much, just a chillin'.